Hello everyone, this is Dor. I'm here with Siren Natiluz, and we're here in Ometepe Island in Nicaragua.
This wonderful, majestic place.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
thank you for joining me for this interview.
Yeah.
It's not every day that I get to do an interview with a Mermaid Queen,
Oh,
the
thank
way
you.
I like to call you.
Mhm.
And today we're gonna give some ideas to people on how can you get out of the ordinary, just doing the ordinary thing, just be a regular Joe. So if that's what you are and that's what you're aiming for, maybe this interview is not for you.
Maybe not.
It's time to switch off the YouTube now.
We're going to talk about sea monsters and mermaids, all those creepy creatures.
So
Right.
but if you're looking for something more than the ordinary, even let's say archetypal, like something that is beyond, and so that's what this interview is going to be about. So thank you again for joining.
Well, thank you very much, Dor, for having me here. It's so special coming here, reconnecting with the land, with the people, having this beautiful message be received with so much love, with so much need, about opening our hearts, about letting our authentic selves flourish, about enjoying the simple and delicious things in life, and having grand visions, because if we have the vision, we have the capacity. And I'm very happy to connect with someone like you who shares that vision, who believes in the power of community, and who is bringing all these wonderful beings together in this platform. So thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. Wow, I don't know if you can feel it, but I already, just when I met you, even the first time, I felt the energy that's already taken me out of my, let's say, my comfort zone or my ordinary life around you. But it comes with a lot of joy. And someone that holds such a space within themselves, I call them a queen or a king. So king or queen is one of these archetypal roles that we're going to talk about today. And we're going to get to the archetypal role of the mermaid. But maybe you can share anything about that. Like what is going on for you when when you're meeting people, when you're connecting. I saw you also doing a workshop here in El Pital. Was even filming a bit. So what is it for you when you bring this energy to people?
Well, for me, it's a delight, For me, it's a blessing because it is a space where I can be my authentic self, my inner child's favorite person, And just in that, well, there's been a long process with myself to show up as the person I'm showing up as today. And there's still a lot more work coming through with this door opening and through me embodying this persona. But I can say that it really does feel like a hug from humanity to be received with so much love in this version that I've created for myself and for the world.
Wow, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And can you speak a little bit about your workshop? I saw you also working with people. What is that you do with people? And
Right, so I also help them discover their heart's desire, right? So when we think about a mermaid, sometimes it can be a little bit scary because they are inviting us to listen to our desire, to our heart's desire. And sometimes, the mind is trying to play it safe, the mind is trying to go for the efficient, for the real. And sometimes we just have these dreams that are so crazy sometimes that we kind of wish, like, if only, if only.
yeah, this people only thing. Yeah.
And as crazy as it might seem sometimes, it is totally possible. And I help people discover that within themselves, find the bravery within themselves to step into that person that they wish to be in this lifetime. Um, so there's like two sides of it. You were just speaking previously about ordinary and extraordinary energy, right? So sometimes it can be a little bit intimidating for people to think like, oh, wow, so just like all of a sudden I'm gonna, embody this, I don't know, this goddess energy or this Viking energy or this warrior or this like mother leader or I don't know, whatever you want,
Mm-hmm.
It's like these usually we have like big roles for ourselves.
Yes.
We are the main character of
Mhm.
our film, right? So there's two energies that I like to divide it in. One is the ordinary, where we can still embody all this truth that comes with opening this door of authenticity, that we can navigate with it in our life, yeah, in our day-to-day life. We don't need to dress up, we don't need to do all that. And then there's the extraordinary, when we put on the dress, when we learn the script, when we learn the song, when we show up almost like in a performative manner. And it's curious how that in itself becomes a ritual that evokes the spirit of the god or the goddess or the creature that you want to embody.
Wow, I'm so glad the way you describe it is you're really putting it together. For people that are probably watching my videos, I'm trying to say that in so many different ways, but I really feel like you're nailing it. And also, I feel that energetically from you, and not just like speaking about it. I saw you walking in the space and really embodying it. So thank you for putting it together like this. What would you say for someone that would be like, but you know, like, what would people think about me if I, you know, connect to this part of me? For example, I speak to a lot of women, and they say it in different form, but maybe like I'm a mermaid, or I have the soul of a mermaid, or I'm connected to mermaids. I don't know why. And what would you say to them for like, you know, wanting to embodiment that and maybe don't know how, or maybe have some fear?
Well, okay, well that's really beautiful, and I love it when I encounter mermaids who are just like suspecting that they are mermaids, and it's such a funny process because truly it's like discovering that you have a mermaid nature about you. Now, the origins, there's many theories about it.
I know some of them.
Yeah. Uh, you know, and to say which one of the many stories is aligned with your heritage or your past, in how far you want to believe the possibility of that being a reality, that we come from the ocean. But there are definitely women who have a deep, intimate connection with water, with the flow of it. They recognize the cycles in their own body. They are in tune with the moon. They are awed or moved by everything that is shiny and glittery. You know, there is a lightness and also a depth. You know, it's very complex to describe. So yeah, it's always so grateful to recognize sisters that embody this energy as well. And these women are actually already embodying the ordinary energy of the mermaid, right?
Okay.
They're already authentically perceiving themselves, recognizing.
That's how I can recognize them. In their ordinary event, like ordinary clothes, ordinary day to day, I can already sense something there.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's like, it's not because they have a tail and because, you know, they're singing by the lake that suddenly, okay, no, then she's a mermaid. No. Like, you could run into a mermaid at the grocery store, you know?
Yeah.
So, certainly, like, that I would.
And if you do, don't miss out on that. Like,
Yeah.
find them. Really interesting people to talk to.
Just dangle something shiny in front of them and you'll catch their attention. It's
You
true.
think, by the way, there's also male mermaids?
Oh yes, there's also mermen. Mermen
interesting.
or tritons that they call them. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Oh yeah, and
interesting.
they're so very appreciated in the community as well.
Hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Can you speak more about the essence of the archetype of the mermaid?
The essence of the archetype of the mermaid. All right. Well, okay. So the mermaid, she's a hybrid creature. Yeah, she's half human, half animal of the ocean. And she symbolizes that, precisely that union of our wildish nature and our more, you know, human civilized nature. It brings the consciousness and the talents of the human with the capacities and the symbiosis of our being with nature. So, I mean, that just really connects to a soul level with many people. I mean, to many people, no. I mean, I would say to the entire humanity, because this is our nature, this is our essence, to be connected with Mother Nature. And we all come as well from the water, from the womb, from this cosmic basin, right?
Yeah.
And the ocean and the waters are that womb that hold life and that create and sustain life further on in our existence. So this archetype of the mermaid, it has that approach to it, which is our more natural approach, as well as the feminine, right? The feminine nature of sensuality, of tenderness, of allureness, of and also of divinity, right? The mermaid is loving everything that is, literally everything that is sparkly is gold. Okay, so you know, and she's always so abundant, so in connection with nature. She's really literally representing the abundance of life itself, the nature, the abundant nature of life, and the beautiful nature of life. Yes.
Yeah, when you're describing it in all these ways, how can people that just starting to figure this out can pick some of these ways to integrate them into their life? How can they use them?
Oh, wow. Okay, there's some fun exercises that you can do. You can close your eyes, for example, and begin to tap into everything that is subtle, everything that is soft. Maybe the wind caressing your cheeks, the smell that is coming from somewhere. If there's nothing like that in particular, maybe even opening your eyes and noticing something beautiful, noticing the geometry of something that you see, the texture, and enter that sensuality of the nature, of the caress of life around you. So that could be, yes, a bowl of fruit that you have in front of you right now, or the view from your window. Maybe it's also a sunset. Maybe it's a cozy fur jacket that you have on right now that is tickling your ears and giving you that warmth and that caress of nature, like Mother Nature, who hugs you, who gives you, who holds you, and where you're always safe.
You talked already about like some of the features of a mermaid.
Yes.
You want to say anything else about that?
We are funky creatures, like we're quirky, we make funny sounds, we're giggly, we we're always just making up something to enjoy, to dance, to just to be, you know. It's a very mystical essence that always brings you something new to discover about yourself, about the planet, to create with others. Yeah, and I think in the end we all come together with the other archetypes, you know, when it's all in authentic relating. Hey, you know, one of my best friends is a Tasmanian devil. And he twirls and he spins and he has a fire sword and he's like, wah! You know?
Yes.
And it's so much fun to be able to share together with all these wonderful creatures and people.
I started to learn about the different kind of archetypes in possibility management. We speak about 4 different archetypes that comes from the feelings. So which one is the main feeling that you use is the main archetype that you have. For example, the king or the queen comes from joy, from holding spaces. That's why I called you, when I saw you, a mermaid queen, because I can feel this presence, this space holding that you brought, this quality without, you know, it's a conscious king or queen. It's not like trying to be the leader or trying to grab something or take something. It's just really holding space. And there's the warrior that comes from anger. I have a lot of that, like the warrior taking a stand for something. There is the magician, the sorcerer, that comes from fear, from creating something. And there's the pirate that comes from sadness. And I have this huge connection to being a pirate, and then I think that's one of the reasons why I meet a lot of mermaids, because we have both this association with water, and we keep ourselves always next to the water, like this beautiful lake in 𝕨𝕗𝕚. Try to think about yourself. Which archetype are you? What is it? What are you connecting to?
It's always very exciting to get to know oneself a little bit deeper and to connect to the other people discovering themselves as well.
Would you share some things about how can people get in touch with you to find you? Because they're going to have all these questions for you right now. They see this beautiful mermaid here sitting on the rocks. And
thank you. Yes, okay, so I know my name can sound a little tricky, Sarah 𝕨𝕗𝕒𝕟𝕜, but you can also find me as Nati, just Nati, Nathie, 𝕨𝕗𝕒𝕟𝕜, MUITORO, muy toro, Nati muy toro. That's how I'm on Instagram. You'll see both my acting persona, which is like my more human persona. You'll see my dancer, you'll see my mermaid, you'll see many other facets of myself, because yes, just as I am a mermaid, I am many. And I come to help you discover those many facets that you also hold, like the diamond. So keep shining bright, and thank you so much for being here. Wow, look at that. It's like strawberry cheesecake sunset.
amazing.